Welcome. It's a Wednesday, and it's a special Wednesday because of a special guy who fought for our what did he fight for? Our freedom, our emancipation, our what? It's a John Chilembwe day, so
are you asking me? Or
I'm asking you, according to you. John Chilembwe, anamenya yani full watu or
that's complicated. I read somewhere that anyway, my comment machoka kuti what John Chilembwe did. Azoti anatamangisa azungwe.
That's what he did. Anatamangisa azungwe.
Okay, that's what people say, and that's what you believe in.
Yeah, according to what I've read.
No, okay, according to the information that John Chilembwe suti anatamangisa azungwe literally, because if you do read history, fast forward it to like 1964.
Kusenza kuti ifeyo freedom yathu tinaipanga fight nthawi yakamuzo.
Ulamuliro wa azungu udalipobe, azungu aja sana sowe sana pite whoever John Chilembwe fought.
John Chilembwe just fought one man, the one that he had beheaded, and he also died at the end of the day himself.
You see, which is more complicated according to history.
Strike a bow and die, according to Mr. Shem Joyer's new short movie.
You see, so there are gaps.
Okay, cool.
But we are on holiday anyway.
We're on holiday, so you have time to sit down and you have time to watch this podcast coming live from Lab 20 Innovations. We chose the Bagone today, so you can have fresh air and fresh ideas, and maybe fresh ideas for a new revolution after John Chilembwe. And the guy that I'm with today on this conversation is one special friend of mine. This guy is going to follow Zereni. I know that podcast. This is a special friend of mine, a good friend of mine. But this one we go way back as early as 2009. I remember when I went to Zuzu University, first year, and these guys were in their second semester of third year.
How can you be in the first year while I'm in second semester? No, you have to be. No, you be in the first semester.
No, we were in different semesters if you remember. Oh. If you class year 2, inadza pana bwelera semester ina yake. Intake sina bangiki anadigira instead of April inabwera August.
I know why that's why we had the like ICT A and then B.
Yes,
those were the issues.
Yes, so it was that time. So that's when I met this guy, probably even first week of that semester. If it was first week, maybe it was second week, but I'm sure the first week of that semester.
So those stories they are complicated. The other stories that when people hear them will be like, wow, this is very new.
Yeah.
Because they were, well, I can say complicated stories. We had a different life. Anyway.
Yeah, I think for me this conversation today is gonna be very interesting because I think I will interview when they go back to this point in time where we're referencing like 2010, 2011, Kondwani wise man, why prophet? Kondwani wise man, the chief disciple of a prophet.
Sometimes the knowledge can be tapped from so many spaces, right?
Okay.
I had a conversation with someone. He says, the problem with people here, we have too many, what do you call in course, experts.
Okay. Yeah.
So these experts, there'll be someone an expert on IT, an expert on economy, an expert on political science, an expert on witchcraft, research, whatever it is. But I think we don't embrace also having basic knowledge on other basic things in the society, right? So sometimes the spaces who have been, people who have met, people who have talked to, people who have not been part of our careers, they have also made us to learn a lot in these spaces, to have almost 360 degrees knowledge on so many issues. Okay. We might be better in terms of knowledge on other issues than even our careers and professionals because of the people I have met daily. So it was a learning process and it was better. We learned a lot. Okay. There were so many issues around, but learning never stops, of course. We are still learning anyway.
I see. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this guy's name is Kondwani Chimatiro. Chimatiro. Kondwani Chimatiro.
Well, it depends where you are at that moment. So people say Kondwani, some people say Kondwani. Kondwani is the name, Kondwani Chimatiro. So it depends anyway. That's how it is in Malawi. People put an arrow where it's supposed to be an arrow. Where it's supposed to be an arrow, there should be an arrow. I think there is dilution in terms of Chichewa a lot more than it was before. I don't know, maybe we are creating a new language out of all these languages.
Okay. So when I do like a simple search online of Kondwani Chimatiro, what I find is a systems developer, basically. Software and systems developer, co-founder of Giant Plus, once co-founder of CTEC Systems, and you guys have developed several software platforms, and also you do website hosting and development, and you are hosting more than 500 websites, and data analytics and cloud computing. Those are your expertise when it comes to what you studied.
A lot of research.
What you studied. But then, for people that don't know where you're coming from, because our software developers, you guys came on the limelight. Your name was always mentioned with your colleague Danny Jiwinga, and it was when you were still in school at Nzuzu University, and you had developed a search engine. So for those of you who are wondering what is search engine in the search engine in the many Google platform in mapanga punch results has been mapanga punch. Yahoo so in the search engine Bing. So these guys, when they were in college, they had developed a search engine which they called My C Finder. The
C was for the surnames.
Okay.
It was resolved to be GG.
Okay.
That was the idea.
So these guys were touted to be the Serge Brin and Larry Page of Malawi in around 2011, 2012, kind of. The guys that were trying to bring in the next big thing when it comes to ICT. I say, take me through that moment.
But we had the energy, I still remember.
Take me through. What was the energy?
No one would say, you can't do it, right? We're like, no, we'll do it. And we have ideas, we have the goal, and this is the direction we are taking in those days. And we started. We had also inspiration. We read a lot online. There are so many search engines around. We have knowledge-based search. These general searches that cross over the internet. We have image searches and stuff. So our idea was localizing content, local content. And in those days, we believed in local content a lot. So the idea was that we don't have enough local content online. It's in books, hard copies, in people's computers, in so many places that people can't access it, CDs and stuff. So the whole idea was to build a search platform whereby if someone wants to tap into Malawian content, then he has to go on my C-Find and then search content from there. We were inspired by some director from Nigeria. It was called Mokalite. They were doing the same. They are good that even in Google store their technology, there was an issue. And then also the search died and stuff, but it was more complex. They had to rub shoulders with the big people in tech, and then some of the inspiration came in from there. So that was the whole idea.
Okay. And how did that help you to get where you are? Because I just did like a simple search on Google of your name, and the results are Nzuzu University graduate bails out Malawi schools with customizable software, Giant X. Then there's Young Malawians launch new search engine, C-Finder. That was 20 February 2012.
Yes, that was February
2012. It's a long time ago.
I think the search engine was developed in December in 2011. The first interview was by, I still remember, Grigor Gondwe, when he was working with Zodiac.
Okay.
So he heard the story. He was like, what have you done? What have you developed? So we're like, we have developed a search engine. Can you show me? So we showed him. We bought a domain name, uploaded everything. We showed him. It worked. It was making sense. From that interview, we got so many interviews from France 24, 8Web in South Africa, Nyasa Times, a lot, Malawi Post, a lot of online platforms, Facebook pages, newspapers, radio, even calls. So we could get calls from UK lawyers, investors. We offered a trip to go to Ireland to stay there and build some tech platforms and stuff. We said no, maybe we are proud of where we are. Of course, the space changed a lot. So we built it and it grew. We were students. The whole idea was to register a company and run a search company here in Malawi, and then it brought in advertisers, tap into these spaces for advertisement money, optimizing the searches. Some content can be monetized as well on the search. Those were the ideas, but it's no longer there at the moment. I remember we took it far up to, I think, Facebook. Facebook came into Malawi. They sent a representative from Kenya and one from Palo Alto. We had a dinner at Latitude 13. Facebook like, are you the guys on the search engine? We're like, yeah, we work on the search engine. We ate Zuckerbergs. I still remember they said Zuckerbergs, yeah.
Zuckerbergs, as in Zuckerberg's
money. So Zuckerberg bought dinner. We had dinner with a team from Airtel. There were other guys. Then we are also the ones on working on the search. So it was I, my ex-business partner, and another employee of ours in those days. It was exciting. Sometimes it's excitement that drives you. Sometimes it's the satisfaction. Sometimes it's the achievement. Sometimes money comes later.
I wanted to go there on the money. Like, you're with Facebook, you had developed this thing that's buzzing around the world, and you meet the team from Facebook. Did they not offer you a big check? Like, okay.
So they didn't offer us money. They said they will do. We used to go to internet.org, whereby they offered a free space to host. To host the search engine, which worked. We developed the app, we crafted it better, and then they offered the space. And then they offered the lunch, the t-shirts, and other tools for development and stuff, but they didn't offer money directly. Maybe they knew these are developers, they need tools for writing code, hosting platforms, and everything, but we got a lot. I think we had some stuff from IBM as well. That was $40,000 US dollars on credit for hosting, tools for development software and stuff and everything. It was overwhelming. A young man from the student, excited, what you know is code and stuff, so everything came in at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So from there, you studied a company, and take us through what was the process like. Just fresh from college, have you ever been employed like full time somewhere? Well, what was your steps like from?
We started a company that I got fired from. So I got fired.
So you got fired from a company that you started?
Yes. So I got fired and I stayed at home for 1 year doing nothing. So what we did is, when we developed the search engine, we came in and we were like, the way the space is, I don't think we can run a search company completely. Okay. So let's leverage it for a company that does IT services. So we used to offer a lot of IT services. Support mostly. We used to support companies, build servers, infrastructure, database and stuff. So we are using that money also to achieve the goal. So we had a bigger company. It had a chunk of the tech space. We built tools. People were so excited that the other things we can do it in Malawi. Nditu zimateka jani. I was the CTO mostly. CTO. I was the co-founder, but I focus on technology. Chief Technical Officer. So anyone who wants to do technology with us, he has to pass through me and have to learn a lot to cope. People make demands that are more complicated. We'll sit there and learn, research, and sometimes we find people who know the stuff. We could hire people who are better in tech locally. Consultations international say, we are building this. How can you help us? So we learned based on demand-driven learning. Some, it wasn't our choice to learn. So we learned, we built the tools, the company was somewhere, we had a lot until we started struggling. So then the search was being grown and we had an investor from somewhere overseas. He started investing money. and he started bringing his ideas until he wanted it to take over the search engine. We fought, we had issues, until at the end of the day, it is and it was water under the bridge. Yeah, but the company continued. Yeah, but that's how the search died again. Now it's a story that we are talking about now.
Okay, so you had found an investor.
Yes.
But zochitika zinachuluka sema.
Yeah, so zochitika zinachuluka. The idea is the other problem is people get fired from their own companies by the board. The board might not carry the vision. The board might not understand what you are doing. Sometimes they feel like they are doing the right thing. They see the finances, they get the feedback and stuff, but they can't carry the vision that the founder is looking at.
Yeah.
So we had the vision, we had the direction, but then when the investor came in and said, you are doing this, we're like, no. This will not work. You don't stay here. We understand the Malawi better than you do. People have tried, they have failed. We don't want to fail. So because it was his money, he started calling different shots. And then we had no savers, technology and stuff. And then the other day woke up while he took over some of the things we couldn't control. And then the money, the bills and stuff. So that's how it died.
Okay.
That's how we died out. We exited from that.
But this was the search engine, everything that was building around the search engine.
Yes, so the investor was interested much in funding the search engine, the search technology. We are involved because we are the team working on it. Yeah, so it was a product. It's a product out of the company that we are running. We had other products and other services as well, but the main focus was on that one.
Okay. Exit the search engine, enter your company now. Take us through this company. What were you doing, and then
so
how did it change?
We are building still products, websites, software systems, support, and everything. But then I think we had conflicts in terms of how to run the company, in terms of understanding the technology. Eventually, as I said, it was overwhelming, and then we started fighting until I got fired. So I just got a call like, you are fired. I'm like, how? How does that work? How do you get fired?
Okay.
Then also I was angry. I'm like, I'm done. Let me get out of everything and start home. So I stayed at home for 1 year. I was working on what to do. I thought of farming. I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I thought of other things. Then I'm like, no, let me keep on thinking what to do. Tourism, we had the products in tourism. I was like, maybe I should continue running the products in tourism and stuff. Until one day I'm like, someone called me, said, Kondwani, I have some projects you have to work on. I'm like, okay, what are those? He said, you have to build a software and you have to build these platforms for e-commerce. I'm like, okay, I can build them. He said, travel to Blantyre and do the stuff. Then I went to Blantyre as a freelancer to work on the things where I was fired. So I started working on the stuff and everything. Then they said, we want you to put these on the cloud and stuff and host them and run them, support for the next 3 years. I'm like, oh, but I retired from technology. I'm done. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. That's when I said, no, let me build a different company. Let me build a startup. So I said, let me use the name of the startup for the project we had in tourism, Giant Plus. So then I did the paperwork for Giant Plus, and then I transferred all these assets to Giant Plus to be running the whole technology support and infrastructure. So that's how Giant Plus started.
Okay. And you called the platform Giant X, according to what I read here.
So we had several products. We have several products. Giant X is one of the products for.
Is this X from Elon Musk's X or?
No, I mean there was no X from Elon Musk at that time. There was X, of course, a different X from him, not this X we know. Yeah. But Giant X is for schools. So that was our first product. So it was a software for schools to streamline finances, grading, student biodata, reporting, logistics, everything to do with an institution that is running, like a primary school, a secondary school. So our first product was for a school, a primary school. So it was Giant Schools, so Giant X. So when it was successful, it's still running. Now it's 8 years.
Oh, wow.
It's still there. We are just upgrading. Now we built 2 more software applications for them. Then we started expanding. So in other schools, in Lilongwe, in Blantyre, it expanded to churches too. So then we continued building products. So it's not only that one. With the demand, we did HR and payroll software for them. The whole idea is they could have managed to buy these software apps around, but some couldn't fit how we operate. I remember the Giant X, the first software, they consulted almost 5 companies. Some in India, some local and stuff. They tried to outsource it, never worked, and we are the last option to build it. They couldn't understand these other streets that we have locally for buses and operations, so we built it. It took us almost 8 months to release the first product. We tried for the first time. After 6 months, we failed. We had to go back to the drawing board. We started customizing the hardware, the printers, everything. We looked at cheaper resources. So we believe in cheaper technology that works. It has to be cheap, but it has to work. I know people say technology is expensive, but we have found ways to run around. So we did a lot of innovation with support from them. We learned a lot as well. That's when we had that product, Giant X. It runs in spaces. Then we have others like accounting, as I've said, payroll and HR, church management system. So there are churches whereby they are running on our technology. Okay. Whereby when you put in they put in a system, they give you a receipt from the system, yes, and then they can produce a report on how you have been tithing.
Oh, wow.
So they will print it out.
That's interesting.
The whole idea is we have to be more open in terms of finance, and sometimes it was difficult for them. I remember my experience whereby I was in an office for the one who corrects the fees. A parent came in and said, I paid. They asked him, when did you pay? He said, last month, but I lost my receipt. So I know you do keep copies here. You can look for a copy here. Dude, I looked at the space. I'm like, wow. There are like 1,000 receipt books. How are they going to check there?
Which book are they going to
Is that what? They are not even dated, nothing and stuff. But when you built it, another one came and said, I paid. He said, don't worry. We'll go into the system. Yes, you paid on this date, the receipt number, this is the amount. Oh, I forgot. I'm like, yeah, that's the best we can do with software. The same with the church. People will fill forms, a lot of them. They'll start tithing and stuff. They'll start compiling in Excel. A lot, they'll start reports and stuff. With this one, they put in the money, they run a report, you are good to go. So it has been working. It's working. Some of their systems are off within the local area network, some in the cloud. They are being used daily. Some government departments, NGOs. So that's how we started building the tools, platforms, and technologies after being fired from the previous company.
Okay.
Well, it was a roller coaster for us.
I see. Mm-hmm. Very, very, very interesting. And I think as you're explaining all these things, what I'm seeing, for me, it's the type of change that you have pushed from school management to now church management. If you can manage your school, if you can manage your church, I'm sure that whatever platform, whatever system that you have built can manage a lot of things. Because I think if there are institutions that have a lot of people at the same time as schools and churches, basically.
So when someone calls, I need a software, we have worked on a software for a courier company. We researched on problems that people meet daily, the queues, parcels disappearing for months and months. You can't track it in anyhow, even the payments. You know, when you go there, in some of these places, you queue there like, I remember someone telling me that he had to go and get his parcel. They looked for it, they couldn't find it. They said, can you go and come back after 2 hours? So he was around, I have to stick around. He went there, he couldn't find it again and stuff. So even they couldn't trace it. We have seen them missing, Kusowa, Kudan and stuff. So we did a lot of research and built one for someone. We demonstrated, we trained the employees and stuff. We had questions and stuff. It was very exciting on what we are tracking, what we are keeping, the reports we are generating in terms of finance and everything. Even if people will not send a parcel, I mean, you are sending a parcel, someone pays and they write in a book or something. I'm like, wow, this is more scary. And then we are using the QR codes to scan for security. You track it at every stage and stuff. So using the knowledge we have amassed from these ones, we're able to build technology from different places, and then also look at the problem we are meeting and then come up with our own solutions. I mean, in Malawi, in Africa, we have to build our own solutions, right? We can't just copy a solution from somewhere and put it here. It might not work the way we live this side.
Okay. If there's one thing that I keep getting from you all the times, which is whatever we're doing, is this, what you have just explained here. Whatever we're doing is about creating solutions for all the challenges that we're facing as a country, all the challenges that we face as a community and institutions. And to think about it, today is Chilembwe Day. Chilembwe saw a challenge that we have got a lot of Azungu that are abusing our people and whatnot. He said, no, I'll create a solution for this. So he gathered his friends, went to Mandala and got whatever it is that they could have managed to get. And yeah, whatever. If this was a war, it was just a fight, they pushed something. When you sit down today, you look at our country, you look at everything that we are doing, you look at all the challenges, and you look at we can count. We can start from institution to institution. We can start from immigration. We can go to road traffic directorate. We can go to the banks. We can go to hospitals. We have a lot of challenges that you look at and you wonder, okay, who are the people with solutions? Today is a holiday. Can you try your MO626 and see if...
Well, it's not working.
Okay. And this has been persistent, but we have a lot of people like you who have gone to study ICT, and you drive these flashy cars around. Yeah, we are ICT experts, but this country cannot have consistent network at any of the government departments, mostly. And then we've got all these banks. What is our biggest problem?
Well, there is a lot that we have to work on. First of all, I'll say political will. Some of these things, some of these issues, some of these problems, we are not causing them. And you cannot say we are not doing better, of course, right? Of course, we are not doing better in some spaces. But there must be political will that has to be there. People would choose who they want to. People would also look at what am I benefiting from this. A lot of people will say, oh, if we do this, what is that I'm benefiting and stuff and all. It's rare to find people doing things out of no interest in some of these things. So it might be people do not put their hearts at the interest of providing the solutions to the problems that are there. The other thing is people have answers to problems they have never heard of and they have no idea of and they have not studied of.
Okay.
I have a solution like, why do you have solutions to problems you have no idea of? First of all, you have to study the problem. What are our core problems, right? Let's go through the problems first and see what is causing this thing. Do you know that we keep solving the same problems daily?
That's what I noticed.
Do you know that we keep on recurring on the same issue, and we keep going back to the same issues?
Okay, if we look at the different innovations, technologies, you are in the space. You refer to yourself as a tech-evangelist. Everywhere we have conversations, you try to bring in how digital, how tech can actually come in and solve. iweyo kakhala Kondwani iweyo. Let's look at innovations kaya solutions abwera in the tech space these past few days. Ochokera kumalawi kunoku kuti unganene okay pakuti panali vuto lakuti anthu anabweretsapo solution yakuti were able to solve it using tech. Pakuti panali vuto lakuti anthu amba kuipanga solve using tech. What are the solutions that you know on top of your head? Chakuti.
I will tell you 3 things. I've already said that sometimes we create solutions to problems we have no idea of, and we have no idea how they work. We just look at the problem and said, that is a problem, but problem we have bwanji and yachokera kuti. No, we have a problem with the internet. It's gonna kuti anthu akomatu kuanizana kwambiri pa Twitter, pa Facebook, komanso anthu akumauza information ya bosa literally. So because of vuto ilili tipanga sawa. No, hold on. how did we get here, guy? Can we sit down and see kuti apapa tafika bwanji kaya and look at the possible problems, issues around the whole issue immediately tafikira apapa? You don't just wake up and say mwana vuto solution yake kale, but you have no idea kuti vuto adani lachokera kuti. If you look at the tech space, honestly, I don't know, we haven't started yet. That's my argument, right? Okay. If you can mention randomly some of the companies that you know, they will say, oh, we supply software. I'm like, where do you get the software from?
Okay.
Oracle.
Okay, let's see. One of the biggest, I'll mention and tell me what services they offer or solutions that they bring to the market. Let's start with the internet providers. Airtel and TNM are the biggest internet providers in Malawi. How do you look at them? Are they really giving us the solutions to the challenges of connectivity in this country?
Well, connectivity has grown because of these players. Kale ukafuna internet ukamagagula satellite, right? Kuchika pa mwamba and stuff. Now we are kumapeto kwa ziko la passet. So maybe let's be proud as of now. Internet is pa phone it. So we can tether our phones, browse anywhere and stuff, send fake news, and with the coming of AI, we can generate stuff that people in the village will be like, not even in the village, be like, wow. But someone has created like something AI generated and fake. Later, it's fake after some time, and people have made it. Yes, so let's be proud in terms of penetration. It has grown. I can say from 2012 when we were building the search engine to now, trust me, we could have made money with a search now than it was before it, because internet is not brutal. In terms of sustaining technology, it has been a problem. Today we have the services, tomorrow we will not have the services. And then you want to withdraw Manongova out of service 9 Koloko Monday. I'm like, okay, 9 to 10 maybe Chimaka out of service, but someone is hammering and is panning around everything inside. I'm like, how can you do that on 10 a.m. Monday? I was telling someone, Guti, you know, we use Facebook a lot, we use Google, Gmails and stuff a lot, Twitter. What happens when it's offline for like the whole night? I mean, it's a disaster, right? Like people are like, oh, this is bad and stuff, and then we read online like someone has sued Facebook, someone has sued Google. Do we care? If it's on offline for 15 days, I'm like, don't worry, young men are working on this thing. Maybe, but when it will be back, I'm like, you guys are proud of problems or what? I thought the support has to be instant. You have to improvise. And I mean, I go school here, IT, I'm archiving, they learn how to provide support, right? Disaster recovery, emergency, whatever it is, documenting problems. So, vuto edit na kumana usikula kuti, and the solution tina banga ndia kuti. Now, what's wrong with the solution? Is it the same problem and stuff, right? So you see that today they work, tomorrow they will not. I know I'm in the express, but some things are difficult for me also to answer. I'm like, I don't understand this. I mean, what savers? They're like, Tilibe network kunoko bank. I'm like, okay. So what do you mean by network?
Okay, yeah. On that question, I want to understand from you. Me as a layman, as somebody who just uses these things, we know the companies that I had mentioned, TNM, Airtel, provide connectivity, internet, data, voice, SMS, and all that. And we have got the other companies, MTL, Inc., and whatnot. Then we have got Simbanet, is it?
Yeah, they are.
Which is more like
internet.
I've heard what it's like providing the backbone of the internet and to distribute now locally. When immigration, when the bank, when road traffic directors say TB network, what are they trying to say? Because you're able to make calls, you're able to use the internet on data. Internet. What is the meaning of TB internet when you're able to access the same internet?
Okay, they don't say TB network. And someone wrote yesterday on social media, said atuza kuti network yo yasowa ndakudikira kuti aibwerese kuchoka kunja. I'm like, oh, this is this is more complicated than we see it, but in a basic way it's just internet connectivity. The service provider kupeleka internet yo, maybe there are issues and problems, right? So that's why service is not working. So let me go technical a little. So there is a server, a computer, just a normal computer, and then there is a connection, a cable to the computer for the internet, and then there is a connection, wireless and stuff. So you have a mobile phone and you are accessing the server. Chimene chikubangisa connect to the server is the internet. The server is working, nothing is wrong. But if the internet is not connecting to the actual server,
you will not be able to
access the content in the server. That's why that's the same when you switch off your data, right? You can't access your Facebook.
You have cut that connection.
Exactly. But if you are connected, the other side is working properly. So most of the times, the connection to the other side is not up and running eventually. That's why there is an issue to do with the network. Or it could be the ISP, and issues to do with the network. But it's more complex because this is what we look at technically. There might not, as I've said, technical problems. There might be policies, governance, and something bigger than all of us in the industry at the end of the day.
Do you sometimes sit down and think people deliberately, for whatever reasons, create these excuses, mainly a network, in these spaces for them to achieve whatever they want? Because for me, it kind of does not make a lot of sense. I always feel like there's something that they are protecting, and for them to protect or to benefit, either they are protecting something or they're benefiting when they say this. So they keep.
I've never thought of that one. I've never thought of anyone protecting something. I mean, we are too small to protect other things. I know issues like in Kenya, it happened. It made sense. I don't think we have many technical issues, as I've said. We have issues with governance, as I've said. We have issues with policies, as I've said. The only problem is sometimes people feel like it's so difficult to say the truth based on the problems that we have. So today we'll read something else. Tomorrow we'll read another thing on the same story. The other day we'll read another thing. So everyone sticks to what he thinks it might make sense. But sometimes people who we say PR people, class serious, they just do it to maybe clean someone's image or to shield. But sometimes it's just about communication. Just communicate the problem at hand. Don't move around it but it's just fair. This is what we have. We have 2 clients. Those guys are very strange. When there is an outage in terms of internet at 2 a.m., just a minute after the outage, they will call. 10 o'clock. Gandhi Sunday, they will call, we have a problem. I don't know how they use the system. Maybe the IT team said, keep monitoring, you can call offline. Let's do this and stuff, right? They have complained twice in the past 3 years. This is year number 4. We are starting Panopa. What I understand now is their service providers are internet. They must be better, or they have redundant links. Because the server side has no problem. We provide the technology, the servers, everything. They don't suffer. Everything works perfectly. But when the internet fails, that's when they have problems. When we check everything, said everything is okay this side. The internet is fine, and the integration, everything is. The integration if it's fine, it's just your internet. The switch is it was an internet and stuff. So, ndimaza feel kuti pena pake infrastructure to internet either could be an issue. Komaso sitimaika mtima pamenepo like if mapanga provide the services ngati ma service hosting ma systems either local and stuff, we do devise even redundant links. We had a client in Blantyre, we built a software magesa namba kuvuta kuzima kucha amapeza ti magesa akatima ndeuti genset kama yakazina sizitani siziakanso. Someone has to be there, fix everything. It was very disastrous. They said no, can we go on this one? We designed a backup system, everything. We automated the process of the system, starting up, shutting down, reporting, backup, everything. Imataka Jaga, you don't hear anything from them. Be like, are you guys still in business? They're like, yeah, we are still in business. I'm like, no, I'm just asking. I wanted you to help me on this. So I said, no. How can they be using a system for 1 year? We are used to problems in Malawi. Timaita uzoti tideke kukhala mavuto. Kumano the other service providers kunja kumana why we don't have an outage? Why things do fail? Even the grid yamagesi, the way they control it, everything is automated and stuff, right? So any failure in the software, the grid will be down. But the grid might be running for the next like 3-4 years. Chukubanga run without anything. And Obanga patch software, they are patching. Replacing hardware, they are replacing. There is no need to Ubanga replace hardware. Okay, Ubanga replace my hardware guy, my servers and my hard drive. Ndiye panopa muka guy out guy for to kupepe search for vuto. I'm like, no. I mean, you have to plan and say, we are migrating the data, guys. Ngatobanga migrate from this server to the other one. Tika maliza the replica will just pull the plug from here and put it here, and no one will experience a change. That's how we even migrate the servers. But Tikaiga offline, TPPS and stuff, it's more complicated. Building systems, deploying systems, supporting systems, we have learned that they have to be up and running. No matter what happens to them, you have to find a plan, you have to find a way around those technologies. Komaso, the other problem, okay? People don't mirror, people don't do a lot of research on things. We can mirror countries like Kenya, Nigeria, North Africa, Egypt, and stuff. The way they do technology. Sometimes, as I keep saying, if you list, I don't know if you list them, of course, top 5 companies you have ever heard of, Zinabanga and the Gulisama computer.
I was trying to get you to list those companies.
No, I can't.
I'll list some that I know on top of my head. I had just started with the telcos.
We are not mentioning someone yet.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, you can't be proud of innovating Ngarwaga Pereka my desktop computer. That's wild. You can't be proud of innovating Ngarwaga Gula MySQL software or SQL, MySQL and stuff, what people calls it, Oracle, Power BI, whatever it is, and you configure it somewhere. Oh, Tabaka configure Oracle on this one, Tabaka configure ASP, SAP on this one and stuff. Now we innovate. I'm like, someone wrote this code somewhere and innovated for the past 25 years in Netherlands. How to configure it? Routing tables, IP addresses, whatever it is, your account numbers and stuff, and say you have innovated. That's why we are very far from wherever we are. You can see some of these US companies, they are running software from just Kenya. Papa Kenya. And how could also Muna Soinenda Iraq somehow? They are writing better technology. People trust them. But Tanzania, if you go there, even the softwares they are in local names. Kuona software, the way it is running, be like, wow, this software is nice. Analimba ndani, hey, mafana inage. Amaka side yaku Dar es Salaam and stuff. Kupitago, they don't even understand the proper English. They have like, okay, gentlemen, how would we understand code and stuff? Like, this is what we do. They show you the technology, be like, wow, this is nice. We can do them here. And our case studies should be around where we are. Let's look at case studies, let's look at what people are doing and stuff, and then we can copy. We can put, I say, technology ultimately in the application aid. There is nothing like pure technology. It doesn't exist to me, of course. But you tell me a problem in agriculture, culture, society, housing, health, then I'm saying, okay, we'll build a technology like this one, we'll use low cost like this one and stuff. Komanso tikamapa kapangamira makope aja sizongoma ngokopera chilichonse. Ku Botswana, ku Rwanda, tablet for every, is it student or every kid or something? Ndiye kunango bati kunosa tikulama. I'm like, hold on, wait guy. Tablet imuzi guy chaja kutiko guy. Because kumena mukasi tablet otukwana mpungo kulibe magesi. How do you do that? Now you see that the whole ecosystem is too bigger. We have to fix other things first so that the other things will come up. Now akawanga studies ajao amaiwala kuti you might need electricity, you might need content yapa tablet, which makes sense. You might need infrastructure. Tablet is end product, is a skeleton part. Technology has to run in the tablet with power backup and everything. So the investment has to go the other way around. I keep saying that kunoko, the only things we can fix better. Maybe nobody cause we are too hungry as Malawians, but we can manage our hunger as per Nigerian president said one time. But the whole idea is energy is important. Factories will never run without energy. I had an argument with someone on some domains. We call them .mw domains. They are very expensive domains. You buy a domain at $50. We were paying dollars. Domain.
This is a domain .mw.
Yes.
The one that represents that the company or organization is based in Malawi.
Yes. Literally, somehow Malawi literally, we should say so, right? But it's $50 more expensive than a domain I can buy somewhere there at $20 and stuff. And that is a domain without value. Unfortunately, domain when you go to Malawi, it might not have value. It might not be flipped. What I mean is, a domain can have internet for so long, ima gain a value. It's like a plot. When you buy a plot kujitipi, yaka 10 years unaigula 20,000 kwacha. For matter 10 years, it was a car 3 million. Yet that's, for example, that's the same with a domain. If I buy a domain somewhere, it grows in reputation when it spans around the internet. If I get a domain with .mw, it has no value like that one, but I will buy it at $50. I'm like, what is wrong? Someone started explaining and stuff, but then I went back home.
Why are they .mw domains expensive?
That's the thing. The problem is not starting from there. Servers, to build the servers infrastructure in Malawi, to have a data center in Malawi, right? One, ESCOM has to be there, but that should be 40% of your power. Anytime it will disappear. In summary, if it disappears in July, August, maybe be like, whoa, there is a 40. But per program, you have to program that you can go in November.
Have power until April.
That's by default. Let's plan for that to the other side. So you have to back up fuel. Kaka petrol, kaka diesel. But then petrol and diesel will take you to a different space. You may also assume I'm big Forex. You'll be like, whoa. I'm building a data center. What has to do with Forex? You see things that can take you back, right? Now with Forex, it couldn't get to something different. Okay, Forex still could do for I'm like, data center. Now data center could build image they must have been exchange rates. Bank at 1.7. The street is changing at 3,000 and 3.5. The space. Now be like, okay, how are we going to import everything and stuff? Now, if we use the bank for the money that goes out, that's fair, right? But if we use the bank for the money that comes in,
you're making it
very unfair and unfortunate. So automatically, the domain here to MW, Gariafika is more complicated. And then I'm like, I sat down, I'm like, wow, this is too much. Solar, let's put up solar. You need a lot of backup batteries.
Into batteries,
the panels, and they assume Magesa Tima for 14 days running a data center with that kind of infrastructure. Oh man, people will kill you eventually. They'll be like, nah, you are not serious. They'll be like, we need our data. Mainly, they last 14 days and the stuff. That's how things are very complicated at the end of the day.
Okay.
I know you don't have questions.
No, let's just go
Okay,
back.
that's complicated, right?
That's
Maybe I'm connecting
that's
too much.
complicated. Now, I'm thinking,
Goma.
is there anything that we can do right to fix these things? Because if we're getting a domain, just getting a domain is taking us through that whole circle of
Yes,
everything
we
that
need
we're
to break it
afraid
down.
of will come into play.
Yes.
When you're just factoring in how it's going to cost you.
And
to
the
buy
parts we are factoring also are going to fixing at the end of the day. Hey, if you fix forex, fix Kumunda, fix
financial
energy,
policy.
it's a lot of work. So you're saying, your next question should be, what can we do?
Okay,
what are we doing?
It's there. So for me, it's what are we doing? I wanted you to look at some of the things that you know. You can say, at least I've seen it's working. This is the way it's solving real challenges from your ICT and digital spaces.
You mean kunapangika chakuti chakuti?
What things, since Chilembwe fought his fight against Azungu,
Kuchambira aberulija.
how kuyambira berulija ukaocha berulija, that was innovation number one.
Actually,
Akachiriza chichijirira.
That Beru, like my challenge in my school, my primary school, that was a nice from Chilembwe. We really need to appreciate him for that one. They just lied to him. But I mean, maybe he invented it. We have no idea. There's less paperwork on that one.
So, what things are there? What innovations are there? You can say, oh, okay, I think Malawi boys did this. It's working. It's actually solving this challenge here. Apart from configuring things, I want, okay, in Zambia, I don't know if they imported this, they just like skimmed it and put in there's Yango.
Yango, yes.
You go to Zambia, download Yango, your Zambian number, very easy. You call for a ride, the ride is there. It's working. You call for food, a bike is there. You can rely on Yango at any time. As far as you have got the app on your phone, you have internet, you'll be able to pull the services that you want. There are softwares like M-Pesa in Kenya.
Airtel Money in Malawi, yes.
Airtel Money. But then M-Pesa gives you all the flexibility. You're able to send money into Malawi. Right now, let's try if you can send money into Zambia from your mobile phone.
I haven't checked, but the last
It's
time I
bad.
thought...
I was in Zambia. Nobody can send you. The functionality was there. If you go in the app and it's your tab, we have country.
Actually,
what is working in this country when it comes to this technology?
Someone wanted to send money from Tanzania to here via Airtel Money. It didn't work, I think. That was a year ago. We had to improvise other ways to transfer the money. No, so, I don't know on innovations yet, but I will mention a few I have knowledge of. Maybe the others I have no idea of, but they are not maybe in the mainstream. And I know people who are doing a lot, right? They have struggled and they have built platforms and stuff, and then there are things that are working. People who have displaced these international software applications. People are like, no, we are removing this QuickBooks thing. We want you to put this software here, which we are proud of, right? We have done that before. People have decided to say, we are not using this software anymore. We are using yours. And of course, sometimes when Forex is scarce, people make better decisions.
Yeah, suppose they can't afford to pay for this now.
Exactly. It's more complicated. That's why I say, sometimes when making decisions, they have to be 360 degrees. You have to assess everything, but we don't do that, of course, locally. I always say that the internet has been better since 2012 to 2024. There's a lot you can do with the internet than in those days. Now there's ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Facebook is supposed to fire middle developers also after some time, because there is AI that will help in AI in the development and stuff. But when you look at this AI, maybe ChatGPT might be better in terms of spanning around, like common knowledge. Anyone can use it, not only for developers and stuff. Llama is too useless. I think getting data from social media, opinions, is more complicated than getting it from all over the internet or generating it from better algorithms and sources. So that's another good stuff. A lot of growth that is there, but you must have knowledge to use them. I would say, in terms of acceptance, nowadays people are accepting that you can deploy a cloud software that will subscribe and will be using. I'll be like, we are changing, but that has cost us a lot of evangelism, of course, in terms of tech acceptance. I mean, it's cheaper, it's more convenient, and it's simple. You can monitor your transactions while you're at home, at the lake. You don't need to be there. You don't need to write a lot of paperwork and stuff that will disappear, or someone will burn it at the end of the day, or rains will wreak havoc. Cyclone Friday will come and then everything goes. But then if your computer disappears, you just get another one. Everything, data is intact, backups and stuff. So acceptance has grown as well. That's what I've seen. In terms of products and services, oh man, it's complicated. People have built products that haven't been sustained, some that are not working. I've seen some working. I know a guy, a friend, some Fiado.
Yeah.
He's a books.
He's a books. Yeah.
He has done a lot. I'm like, wow, this is from zero to somewhere else. Building a software in Malawi with standards, perfection, it grows and people are accepting and they are using it. It's more interesting. And there is another lady who built some software in places. It works nicely in demand-driven places. I'm like, wow, this is nice. We have seen Page Angle for now. Yeah. It's too young. We can't celebrate for now. It's too small. It's like how I was excited, like maybe 10 years ago.
When you started your C-Finder thing.
Yeah, so we will say this is true excitement stage. For me, that's my opinion. But it looks like it's making sense. It will make sense. But Timati startup with Gayamba, Timati pass 4 to 5 years ahead. Most of the times, Imam Alira. So we have seen it. Wait, Imafa, not Maria. So they have seen so many startups. They have died. There are so many people we started together. They had to quit. Some they are still quitting. Some they are still struggling and stuff. I mean, we are doing it for fun, of course. We are doing it for change.
As you are speaking, this other day, I was just going through my applications. I mean, I was like to change something on my Facebook. So I went to my applications. I mean, Navanga subscribed to for some reasons, whether it's Kawabangila login, I saw a lot of local, I don't know if they were really local, but they were more focusing on the Malawian market that were helping us to bypass into Zinazagi.
Yes.
One that I came across was Megamatic ads.
Yes.
We used to use it to Bangila pay my Facebook ads. You would put in Airtel money on Pamba, and then you'd get my whatever it was, credits, whatever, and you'd use that to. But it just disappeared like that. And when you was talking about Page Young, I was thinking of that platform. I don't know where that went.
You see?
Of course, it went with my money. I had deposited some, and I never got to use it.
It's like losing money to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So there were so many, as you were saying, and we had one. We used to pay for, I think, MasterCard or something when we were young students.
Yeah.
So we're able to
payments.
pay. Yes. So we're able to pay. I mean, there were innovations that made sense, but it was technology that wasn't that has not been sustained. That's why I'm saying that when we see these fancy innovations, at this university they have created this, at this they have created this. I mean, we are excited. It's nice, but why don't we get excited with sustainability? Why don't we get excited with, people like Facebook said, we now have 3.2 billion users. You see? National Bank will be like, last year we did 22 billion transactions. This company has processed this and that. Google will be like, in Africa, these were the most searched terms. Even in my C-Finder, we had like December statistics, most searched terms, stuff. It was manable sometimes and stuff. Even these websites, when we built them, I remember one website we built, the most searched word on Google, based on the website integration and stuff. It was Ching and Target. When it was people were like, what is this? They're like, chicken target. We had no target, right?
Yeah,
but people were like,
target?
Target? What is target? Chicken. People remember muchichewa and stuff. So you compare the stats to like, this is what people are asking. So you should be telling them this information because this is what they want to understand and know and stuff, right? So I have now to judge technology in that space of sustainability. It has to be there for some time. It has to show the results and all. Otherwise, we get too excited and we get too we get acceptance on things that are there. People be like, someone has developed a product for doing this and this and that. Be like, okay, so what next? I met someone. I was telling that person, I'm like, we have nice initiatives, right? We have growth accelerator. We have the money fund. We have everything. They bring in ideas, and then you look at the ideas, saying, okay, in the next 5 years, what are we going to do with these ideas? So they're like, oh no, we'll fund them for the next 18 months, which is 1 year and 6 months. We are hoping the founder of this product after 18 months will sustain them. Like, you guys, do you even know how to sustain a product? What kind of product? I mean, you grant wagen the mozi literally kumale kunoko a huge one, but grant you amandira funding, and funding he akwena kuonjeza another funding azimo pasa we because akupasa service abanga sustain how, because anything can happen. The whole idea is my product akunjambira magwira because they are for the public, like young, right?
Yeah.
But some of the products we build here they are for the client that much. So a client moves, changes and stuff, everything it disrupts the rest of the whole stuff. We have hope.
You have mentioned a very interesting facility or initiative that happens in this country, which is grants or support to startups and all that. And you have mentioned the growth accelerator. They are now in their 7th or something.
I think
cohort.
It should be 8
cohort now, supporting different companies. And probably you and me have had a chance to just follow some of the clients that have been supported. And we realized one very surprising trend, that when most of these companies or startups that were probably all over trying to make sales, when they've been supported, somehow they just disappear.
Yeah, they
and
do.
You don't see them. We don't know what happens. Maybe they have moved away from the eyes of the public. They are selling. I'll give an example. I'll give an example without hiding. The Kombeza yogurt. Kombeza yogurt was a thing. Every corner there was a car. Kombeza yogurt. There were guys buying this yogurt, selling every corner. And when they got funds from Growth Accelerator, we thought they're going to multiply the production. They'll be all over. But ever since that period now, you rarely see Kombeza. And the other one is this company, Mabanga's all over. It was also all over, like you could see their advertisements and everything. Panova, you don't see them. Probably they have outgrown.
They have made a lot of money, so they don't need to advertise.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know. What do you think goes on? What happens?
I don't know. We might not have all the answers, but we might have a few. So one thing I told you that we failed with my sea fighter because of investment. So some of these investors, they have no idea what you are doing. I like when Andela partnered with Google, I was hired to be a mentor, right? You know the word mentor, right?
Yeah.
So mentorship is more or less like guiding someone, right? So not changing someone, not changing how he does things and stuff,
yeah.
but direction they are nice. Come on, ukozo kafika urabanga jonji. Ababa mulibe paper wiki, muige paper wiki, musamango bangas and stuff like this one. Ababa mubange jonji. This is how it works. Mentoring someone, right? So when I was mentoring web specialists for Africa, and then crowd track for Africa as well, Nigerians, Kenyans, we could have sessions and say, I'm like, okay, this is how we are doing it. You are using Flutter. This is good because we need this and stuff, right? So my first problem that I've seen is in mentorship. Sometimes they come in and they give you different ideas from what you have at the end of the day. It's your idea. You know how to sustain it. You know how to grow it. But if someone comes with a different idea, that's already a totally different idea. The same I told you that people bring you solutions where they have no idea where the problems are coming from. So you have to start the problem. Say, one in the one I cancel one. You can't cancel one in the two. Hey or no? That's the whole idea. That would be the first thing. Secondly, I don't know. Is
it just in us that once we get a lot of money, we start thinking of things that were not our core business, like we probably us having no support pushes us to go do more of those things. The moment we get the money, we start thinking because Papa, I'm remembering it could be a bit different because I didn't get the funds or whatever when I was doing the bicycle thing.
The one that is now in fashion.
Yeah. I'll start with the solving a problem that you're not solving because they think that's what you need to be doing. You know, when I started the Uauke thing, the Uauke bicycles, I knew what I wanted. I knew my target. My target were Azungu. I mean, Amakari Mulongwe Munomu. They have nothing to do. They want to say a lot of things. But the fact that Adiba Garimoto, Adibe Munhori, Atawenda Nai, they want to see a lot of things, I want experience. I was like, okay, if I get 3, 4, 5 bikes, and I've got 3 guys, and I've got my own bike, Tiko Zonyamuga, Kubina Mukawari. I know Kawari very well, I know 23 very well. They will actually have closer interaction in Dindani, and who things, Chani. When I started, a lot of Malawians came to me, you have a very nice idea. Yeah, so they were always helping me to grow this idea. But how were they asking me to grow it? Target more Malawians. You know, a lot of Malawians need to be cycling. Hey, my friend, I'm not here to help Malawians cycle in this case. I'm here to make money from Azungu because when they get a bike, they're going to pay me $10, $5 for me to take them to Kawari.
Yeah, like the two.
When there are 3, 5 of them, I'm making about $50 just for me to cycle into Kawari. When you tell me to get more Malawians on board, I tell them, for you to hire a bicycle is 10,000. They'll be like, that's 10,000. You understand? For me to take you there, it's 5,000. Will be also 5,000. So these guys were not seeing what I was saying. But for them, like, you get a lot of Malawi, you know, you need to get. But my idea wasn't that. But for me, they were thinking they are helping me grow, which was not the case.
What I've learned, right? As I've said, we keep learning, right? I've seen that companies that have grown a lot, of course not in Malawi. People in Malawi or companies in Malawi will profit overnight. You just sell one computer to someone, double the price. Or you sell even 30 computers a year, you are covered and stuff, right? But I've discovered that companies that have grown a lot, they believe in value-added services that add value to their existence. Let's say for Apple Pay, right? If you make a transaction for Apple Pay, even you're buying a domain, the amount of money you pay for the domain and the money Amazon do, they are charging a fee and stuff. Tax 0.5 cents, you see, $1. But how many people are buying
from
per day? 2 million a day, 5 million a day. So you are scaling out and you are making money instead of spanning in a small geographical area and you make that kind of money, you see. So that makes sense. Now let me take you to a very different space, right? Tourism. In Engo Chogli, tourism, right? Muduma Malawi, iwe mudumako mwabwela jani ndichanika. You see? That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. Tourism is not a hotel. Tourism is not a lodge. It's not in kupita kunyanja kasambira. And that's what we are doing locally. I was telling someone, I said, no. Panopa mimi nafika ine pano, but I can't go ndukakaka ku hotel ndukango sambira nkubwera. No, I have to look at it say, kodu koko ndemu mwatikuli horse riding. They're like, yes, horses. Oh, okay. They're like, there are snakes too. You can touch them. I'm like, let's go there. Muma where I'm like, now you are talking. Muma tana and stuff. So it's services under that space. We'll be sleeping in the hotel. Yes, kwa mama tikasuka tikagwera njinga, tikamaiza njinga, ndeti tukashuta bows and arrows and stuff, tikapanga zakuti and stuff, day later done forest bathing and stuff, saunas and all for the whole day, right? Now you look at the money of it, be like, wow. So we have spent $180 just today, but we are tired. It was satisfying. You see? Now, if we make investments in these value-added services, the demand will be huge. Someone was telling me, Israel, wait, if you Israel, hey, I'll be like, wow. But guys, we want to make money with this space. And how many target in 1 billion or 1 million or whatever it is. It's tourism. And they'll make a lot of money out of it. It's a value-added service. Why should you go to Israel and sleep in a nice hotel and you swim? I mean, but you have to look at value-added services. Someone said, along with the lake is more better. I remember per 31, I think, per 1. So we're like, something. So we went to farm
ranks.
Yeah. So went there. Oh, we spent almost 3 hours. Akuti njoka indi mpiri imapanga zakuti, akuti njoka indi yakuti imapanga zakuti, uyu nde green mamba kuyangana na hold on. So akuti yangana ife how did you catch this and to hear? Tapita ati uyu ndi ngona. Ukuti saduseko kai. So I mean nde kumapita fans. That whole day they a lot of people. Kulibeko swimming pool. Kulibeko hotel. And abanyamula ntukula box. Masama hadiso wakamazuka trouser ko sabo kuti gentlemen some ati abanchi trouser ngambika kudo kuna libes, it's a place that people are seeing things they have never seen amangozana mabuku. I mean ndintano muno njoko yoyonera kutiko ngona yoyonera kuti, but people are able to see it live, people are able to touch a snake there, people are able to do this and stuff. It's value added service in every space of the economy. Kind technology, the whole idea is a value-added service. Let's add the value. The same way I was telling someone, I said, you can build a website. Oh, this website looks nice, right? But there are two things. A website, if ultimately is a living thing, it feeds on information. If you are not feeding it, it is dead. That's the first thing. The next one is, you have to know and visit the website and which side of the website they are visiting. Like vanavoti mazuva kuti mene riri lilongwe ineyo anthu akagula zinthu kwambiri amakagula za hardware this side. Kwera 3 market kalekale tinkakula kuti ma stationary kwambiri ukangoti ati stationary kwera 3 market. That's why stationary is. So because we know the number of people studying technologically is visitors, tracking visitors. So be like, how many unique visitors are visiting area 3? How many visitors per day visiting area 3? Pomata jaga kwera 3 apita kwa ngati and amapanga visit which side of the shop. So see, and amagula kwambiri shop hii. Why? The same website, people will go on the homepage, they'll be like, contact us, after contact us. They'll be like procurement notices, they'll be like vacancies, they'll be like news. So those sections we analyze them and say mwaona to antu website anu page yakuti panopo 2 years no one has ever visited it. Remove it. Even if a search engine and mabanga search magudu. I remember certain company insurance and abanga search iyo ndi zinalina and abanga search zinalina, but the same name of the company iliko Canada, iliko so I think ku South Africa, iliko so ku land. So the same name, it has so many, it's a different company. I think they are not even related, but the search is the same. When they search the results, they span to different places. There I was like, recirculate your text on the website so that when people are searching, at least my terms as banga search as gawa. It means mutanga type Dennis Imani. They would Dennis Imani ambili mbili as bullet. But this my search is too wide. Let me know it. Dennis Imani, Malawi, they are and then Dennis Uja. So let's create that data in that way. So that's how we build these things. Kuti abange sense at the end of the day. You can't just be doing things as Ngaributi, we are not living, we are dead.
Okay. As there's a lot to talk about, and for me this is really just
the basics.
The basics of the things. What I want us to do this year is to expand more of the things that we are discussing, Ababa. We chose today because I think one of the things that we need to do as a country is to get people to listen to conversations that they don't listen to all the time, or they are not privy to. And I find the conversations that we usually have when we're chilling out with you and the other guys very eye-opening because of my perspectives. I mean, I know today we have talked a lot about technology, but I know you're not a guy who is always talking technology. You are a guy who is talking other things away from technology. You are talking of how people think, how people's mindsets are.
That's the thing. Technology is mindset. That's why Professor Bajama Lembakuti, what's on your mind? It's just psychology, right? I mean, a basic human being will be like, ha, fuel, kulibe, what's on your mind? Because you have a space and you have everything around, and then that's what's on my mind. The whole idea is all about psychology. That's why even when you are building these products, you look at someone, you say, the way this person looks, tikampasa touch screen, it will work better. Tikampasa computer, it will work better. Software ikale muchichewa, software ikale muchiromwe, aikonda. Software ibanga to automate everything about his life. He will never run away. And he says, now I don't talk about technology because I live there. Why should you talk about a place where you live that much? It's a privilege to be in this other space. Let's talk about politics, economy. We also like talking about witchcraft, religion.
That's one thing that I would
history.
I would want us to really sit down and just
it's more important
have a conversation. It's about beliefs, basically. I think where beliefs span from our societies, our religions, spirituality, and all that. I know we always have these crazy conversations when we're with Wanda Nkuche, Vincent Kumwenda, and the other guys, where you just sit there and challenge each other's minds about the things that they've believed since they were young, things that they've read, things that they experience as they grow up. And I think in our subsequent episodes, I want us to delve more into that. But today, in the spirit of John Chilembwe,
we are talking about technology.
You happen to come from the same area, from the same district.
Well, there's a John Chilembwe was not around, right? And in Malikebu. Have you ever heard of Malikebu?
Yeah, the funny thing about these stories is people choose who to highlight.
So if we had some Sinja Chimatiro Malikebu, ne uko hapo nde asida kwa kuti nenda werenga pena baka kuti John Chilembwe chananda anthu ena ambiri and ukuma kushwa kuti ku Malikebu what happened, because kunoko I've never heard of that. I mean ndi Chilembwe cha anadusa kasewa katata hai magai, where did you write that history? But I think there is more important data in that space. And maybe we just need people who can do more research on that one, and then they look at documents. I know maybe National Archives, they have those documents. Kopiayem, they might have a few.
But and a lot of these documents or history coming from the white guys who...
Yeah, here there is a lot of force in Germany too. Strangely, in England, about Malawi, we might have even less history. History ambili ilikunja kwa ziko lino eventually, but I mean, a man who knows where he's coming from is a man who know where to go, right? So mazote magai kumeli kujokera ko tukwene ati lowero ko tikangopanga so mistake sizani. So knowledge, understanding, things we see in the society, things we understand, everything we see zose zimatipanga shape kuti tikwena kulowera kumene tikwena kulowera. And sometimes making decisions with less knowledge is not important. Also, sometimes feeling like you always have all the answers. I like it when I'm having conversations with other people. I'll be like, what do you think about this? Like, nah, let's leave it as it is. We have no answers. Let's put it open-minded. You'll be like, okay. The other answers, they'll tell you, this is how to do it. I'm like, okay. But my head hasn't picked anything around it, right? And I'm going, okay, fine. Next time we might understand it. We might find knowledge about this, and we might learn more about this. So it's a lot. Okay. But it's good to learn a lot as well.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, as we wind up this conversation, which is basically part one series of my conversation with Kondwani, to just explore
John Chilembwe
a
conversation.
lot of things that he loves talking about. I want him to share with me your deepest learning in the past years of your work experience and interactions with different systems, different people, different offices. If there's one thing that you say, you can sit down and say, this is what I've learned about being in Malawi, working with Malawians, doing business in Malawi. Like, I hold this close to me. What is that?
Well, we have to be real. You have to be real. Sometimes you have to crash around processes. Malawians sometimes, okay, so we have this kind of British kind of lifestyle, right? So in America they call it disruption, right? So you can disrupt things around and make them work properly. Kumalawi kunoko they'll be like, mukachokatwa pamba kalowa umumu ndi machitika zakuti. I'm like, why is this kuchitika umuso zomwezo zikuchitika? Why don't we remove these processes around this and stuff? So learning Malawi, you have to understand Malawians first. People have different beliefs. You have to be in their shoes first, understand their struggles and everything, and then you pick up from there. And also we have learned a lot from other Malawians. There are people who are doing things and people who are very wise and intelligent, and when they curate things, I'm like, wow. And I've also learned that there are people who keep on acquiring knowledge. There's Vincent Kumwenda. When he started running things, I'm like, no, you can't be doing that one. I'm like, you can't be reading every document, every report, and every space. You like, in Kenya, take startup policy work like this. I'm like, okay. In Nigeria, I'm like, no, this is so. People like him, they also inspire us a lot to read. I used to have a challenge to read books. Last year I didn't read a lot, so sometimes reading books also you learn some stuff. Not fiction. I'm done with fiction, but I mean write books as well. Not Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad and Poor Dad. I'm like, what is this? Also, I'm a fan of mathematics, so solving problems, you have to use mathematical models. A lot of these problems they fall under mathematical models, and sustaining them. And then you have also faced challenges. And the other things, like in tech space, right? People be like, we need this. I'm like, okay. So you are buying this, you want to put it there, and no one is doing it. Bring it on. And then we run tests and stuff. We understand that that's this will work. Like, and then as I said, no, we are just also learning. So knowledge is very important. But Malawi kutengeka on Facebook, social media, and validation, misinformation and disinformation, a new word in fashion now. So yeah.
Right. Great. Thank you so much, Kondwani, for your time. And for all of you guys that stayed on to just listen to this conversation, this is part one of this conversation that we'll be having, mainly centered around mindset, digital, and everything. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow our channels. Until next time, enjoy your Chilembwe day. If you watch this later, until we drop another episode. And I'm your host, Dennis Imani. And this is Up 20 Podcast. See you later. Bye.